Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to Livestream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a great week and that you've managed to keep track of which day it is, because that is a little bit tricky at the moment. Fortunately, we have a Saturday and a Tuesday live stream just to keep track. So, first of all, let me get you guys up on screen, and hello everybody, thanks for tuning in so early. I was busy getting everything sorted for the live stream and importing videos and going through the answers to my request over on Patreon, so thank you guys for that. So let's have a look who's in the house. We have Vince and Patrick and Jen and Batfink and Lucy and Gribbler and Batfink again and Vince and Ginger, Duran, Teresa, and Patrick's in there as well, and Rhonda with lots of signs and things, so emoticons, thank you for that. And Laura's in the house as well. Hello guys, thank you for tuning in on this Saturday night. Now I can see there is already a bit of action in the super chat window, so this was before we went live. Thank you for this 58 Marine who has donated $20, and the message is, my acoustic is named Taco Takamini. Did you give any of your guitars a name? And I haven't named any of my guitars, but I just have them as a Strat. I suppose I've got two Fender Strats, so maybe telling them apart, obviously visually, is very easy, but they don't really have their own personalities, and it's not something that I ever got into, naming guitars, but Taco is a great name for a guitar, especially if it is a Takamine, and it's something that I played many in the shop that I used to work in. I used to teach in a shop just out the back, and not out the back literally of the shop, but in a room in the back that was like a mini studio / a storeroom. So that's why I eventually stopped teaching there and went into teaching privately, because it was a little bit better for everybody involved. But anyway, yes, I had sometimes a lesson that was free and somebody would cancel, so then I just attacked all the guitars in the shop and just picked up as many as possible to see how many I could fit into half an hour between students, just experimenting with those. But anyway, I digress. Thank you so much for that donation, and I also want to get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this live stream possible, but also every single video possible on YouTube with the analysis videos as well. So the names that you can see going across the bottom are my patrons. Thank you guys so much. You know who you are, and they also pop up in the super chat window during the live streams as well. So thank you guys so much for your support. And we are going to be moving into the first video of the night, and this is requested as always over on Patreon, and it is Hero, and it was Teresa who actually did request this, who was also in the house in that live chat room. So hello Teresa, thank you for requesting this one. Also, we have a bit of a tie for the cover video that I'm going to be playing, because there were two. It was going to be either Power of Love or Lay It on the Line, and it's between those two. Maybe we can have a vote for that or something a little bit later to see who wins or which track actually gets played, because I am a nightmare at making decisions, especially when it's my own cover videos, because I don't know what to play. Maybe I'll just flip a coin. If I had a coin, I don't think I've even got a coin. So you guys can decide if you want to hear Lay It on the Line or Power of Love, and we can do that after this video. But thank you for joining me tonight. Hopefully you guys like this. It's going to be the live version of my song called Hero with the Halloween themed live stream that I did. But I'll be in the live chat room while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Trust in
And there we have it. That was the live version of Hero, my song from my album, which is called Persistence, and you can get that on iTunes and Amazon, and also wingsofpegasus.com, which is the best place for me because it means that other people don't take a percentage of the payment. So if you can head over to wingsofpegasus.com/store, that would be great for me as well. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. KA DJ's in the house as well, and Patrick and Frank, and also Laurie's in the house, Tim Baker as well. Hello, thank you for joining me tonight. So it looks like we might be going for Lay It on the Line for the cover for tonight's live stream, because I have seen a lot of people saying that in the chat room, so it might lean that way for tonight, because we were tied for the cover to be played tonight, but we will see what happens. I'll try and keep my eye on the chat room to see if there are any other requests either way, to see what happens with that. But anyway, we've just had a bit of action in the super chat window. So hello Kevin, thanks for tuning in tonight. And also Kevin did request Don't Cry, which I'm going to play later over on Patreon. I'm not going to play it over on Patreon, I'm going to play it here. But Kevin requested it, so thank you for that, Kevin, and has also donated $5. Thank you for that too. The message is, have you ever been to Abbey Road Studios or had your photo taken at the crosswalk with some rock horns? So no, I haven't ever been to Abbey Road Studios, and it would be a cool place to go and visit, and obviously with the history and just that photo opportunity to try and I think I read somewhere that the police were having trouble with people stopping traffic because they were all taking pictures, and you can imagine anybody that goes there will just go straight away to that zebra crossing, which is what we call it here in the UK, and just pose for the pictures. But it's obviously not the greatest thing to do if there is a lot of traffic, and hopefully it wasn't too much of a problem, but it's totally understandable. But the short answer to the question is no, I haven't been yet. And I emphasize yet because I'm sure it's probably going to happen at some point in the future, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So Carl has also just donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Carl. And this is for the Post-Corona Cross the Pond Fund. Please stay healthy, one and all. So thank you for that, Carl. And I hope everybody is just self-isolating as much as possible, trying to stay safe out there, because it is such a weird world we're living in at the moment. I think I'm on about week 5 of the isolation thing, and this is why you can start to see I'm gonna have to start doing this with my hair, because it's obviously growing, and I'm not gonna cut my hair myself because that would be a disaster. So I'm just gonna let it grow, and we'll see. However long this quarantine and the self-isolation lasts for is how long my hair will get. So it'll be interesting just watching the hair grow week by week and see where we end up. And it'll be interesting to know if any of you guys have cut your own hair, because maybe it's time for a change and you'll get a slightly different style that you might like or totally hate. But we will see what happens. Anyway, Debbie has just popped into the super chat window and has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, do you have enough room in your place to house us all when we come to see you? And it depends how many people come over, because if it's as many that cram into this live chat room, then maybe not, because I'm not sure how many people you can fit in this room, but this is probably the room that's got the most space in it. So maybe 30 or 40 people can squeeze in here, and that would be a squeeze. So we will see. It wouldn't be particularly good for following the government guidelines of keeping 2 meters apart, but obviously in the future it wouldn't be under those circumstances. But I hope that everything is okay where you guys are. I've been seeing some images, and I don't know whether this is true in the USA, of lots of people out and in a lot of groups and not keeping 2 meters apart. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I think with everything here in the UK, things are just maintaining at the moment. So fortunately, they're not increasing, to my knowledge. We're not still increasing crazily, but we are leveling out, but unfortunately that is at about 800 to 900 deaths a day is the average kind of peak that maybe we've hit, hopefully, fingers crossed, but it's still just crazy numbers. So when we do see over in other countries that people are still gathering round, I don't think they really grasp the seriousness and I think the potency of this disease and virus, the way that it can get spread around, because we are so careful here in the UK and it's still being spread around. Fortunately, like I said, we managed to hit a bit of a plateau and hopefully it will come down in the future, but it is one of those things that it is so easy to spread this thing that I think everybody, if you can, just self-isolate, try and stay as safe as possible. And it's certainly what I've been doing here, but we can all get together on these live streams, which is great because this is a safe place to be. As long as you're just watching this at home in front of a screen, it's all good. Anyway, just to mention as well, in the super chat window, we have had a little bit of action, I was going to say, but quite a lot of action because Ray is in the house and has donated $100. So thank you so much for that, Ray. And also, you guys, if you do accidentally donate more than you meant to, or you just donate accidentally full stop, we can sort it out after the live stream. Don't worry about that. But Ray, thank you so much for this. The message is, how do you feel about YouTubers making videos to your music? I ask because every time I hear Hero, I think of the EMTs rushing to COVID-19 patients struggling to breathe. I might like to make a video with EMT images to your song, but only if it is okay with you. So I don't mind if people use my songs and play along to them or use them over the top of other videos. What happens is the video will probably get a copyright infringement notice or something like that, because that's all to do with the publishing company that I pay, to look after my music and keep a track of it online. And if people are using in other videos, then they might have adverts on those videos. I'm not sure how it works. All I know is that for myself, I get a copyright infringement notice when I play my own songs on the live streams. So it might be something that happens, but it shouldn't be blocked. I'm not one of these artists who block their music on YouTube. You'll still be able to use it. It will just be notified as being a copyright song that you're using, but it won't give you a block or anything on your account if you upload it to YouTube. And it's something that sometimes it is a bit annoying when you do a video and you find out that the copyright owner has put a block on it, which means that you can't even play it. And that even goes for sometimes artists that aren't that well known, and I'd love to feature and get the word out about their music, but I can't actually put it on the channel. So it is a bit of a shame. But anyway, short answer again. I tend to go on. Apologies for that, Ray. But yes, you can use my songs if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And we have had another donation under this, and it's Joan who has donated $49.99. Thank you so much for that, Joan. And the message I can't see on my screen, but I can see it over here. So the message is, joined Patreon today. Thank you for all you do. So thank you, Joan, for joining me over on Patreon. And if you guys want to get involved yourself, then you can do over at patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And I did have a link here that I set up ages ago. Hopefully it still works. There it is. That's the site if you want to get involved over on Patreon as well and help to support me and the channel and keep everything running, because at the moment, fingers crossed, the internet's going to work okay tonight, and it did last night, which is when I was doing an analysis / interview kind of thing with the Warning. It's a video that I did look at with them, and it was Narcissista that we were looking at, but I did do Dust to Dust before, and that was an analysis video I did quite a while ago, but you guys might remember that. So it was cool to have them on the show last night. As I said, the internet did work, which was good because I think that it's so close to just cutting out the whole time. It is great that it worked the whole time, and then I could get straight into editing the video and also upload the video. So last night was a good night for internet, and fingers crossed it's going to be a good night for internet tonight as well. So let's get that off the screen. We have had a little bit of action again in the super chat window. Thank you guys for these donations so early on. Also, let me get in an early, even though it's almost 20 minutes into the live stream. The time flies, but here's a plug of the mug for Spike the Likes. So if you want to hit that thumbs up, then it would really help the channel get out there, and it would be massively appreciated by me. And you can also get your hands on one of these mugs in the tray underneath this video. You just click on that and it goes through to Teesprings. And don't worry, they're not sent out from the UK. They are distributed over in the USA as well if you do order from there. So they should still get to you. And then you can take a picture of your mug or yourself and your mug and upload it to the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook, and then I'll take the picture from there and show it on the live streams. Anyway, getting into the super chat window again, we've had a little bit more action, and I'm going to have to scroll up here to see what's going on because there have been a few more. So thank you for this. We have SB Rand, who has donated $10, and that's a straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that. Marilyn is in the house as well. Hello, Marilyn, and it's a $5 donation. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, glad you're well. Congrats on 128,000. What do you do to relax? So thank you for that donation. And also, everybody, thank you for hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing, because 128,000 is a crazy number. And to relax, it's in coronavirus times, of course, you can't really go out much, but when I'm working out, I sometimes go for a run, even though I haven't done that in a while, but I did find that relaxing. I just have to find time to do it again, but I'm trying to stay indoors as much as possible at the moment. So maybe exercise, probably more likely I'll be playing guitar or watching videos on YouTube. Maybe playing a game, because when I was growing up, it's when computer games were really starting to take off. So I had a Game Boy, and that just got me started into gaming and playing games and things. So that's something that I do find probably relaxes me the most, because I'm not thinking about anything else. Whereas whenever I'm maybe watching YouTube or something, obviously I can see comments coming in, and then I get sidetracked, and then there'll be an email, and I'm then back into the process of answering emails and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just one of those things. By the way, when I mention emails, I had an email actually last week, which was from Susan and Dennis. So thank you for that. It was actually from KADJ, because they sent me a birthday wish, which I did see, but because I was about 7 days behind on the emails, I didn't see that before the live stream, and I spent a long time today getting through the emails. So I saw it today, and I'm now only 3 days behind on the emails. So I do get there eventually, but there have been a lot of emails recently. So apologies if you have emailed in the last 3 days and I haven't replied to it yet, but it is one of those things. Like I said, when I'm just playing a game, that's just the way that I can totally unplug, because nothing comes on screen that is going to notify me about messages and emails and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, thank you so much, Marilyn, for that donation. And Ginger Duran has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, for the Cross the Pond Fund. So thank you for that. We have another donation underneath that, which is from Lucy, and it's $49.99. Thank you so much for that, Lucy. The message is, for the Cross the Pond Fund and isolation food. Okay, with the hair, just don't grow a ZZ Top beard. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay sane, with some rock horns, a heart, and peace. Thank you for that, Lucy. And as people can, this happens sometimes. I put a letter from the next word into the middle of the previous word. It's clever. I don't know how my brain does it, but it's entertaining when it does happen. Anyway, The thing is with my beard, it's not even a beard, that it just grows in a very particular place and I don't grow on the side. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't grow a beard. And it was funny because somebody once commented and said, why don't you shave the whole of your beard? As if I'm not shaving these bits on purpose for some reason. But no, it just grows there. I'm not one of the most, apart from my head, obviously. I think this is where all the hair is on my head, and it's just not gonna be in the beard area around my jaw. So it's just something about me that isn't particularly interesting, but because it was about beards, I apologize for telling you about my facial hair. And maybe it's something that potentially makes me look a bit younger. I don't know, because I'm sure there's loads of 20-year-olds who have a better beard than I could ever grow. But anyway, we've talked about hair and now beards, but thank you, Lucy, for that donation and also for getting me to talk about beards. It's never going to be a ZZ Top beard because that is some serious growth we've got going on. Anyway, we have had another donation and this is for $10. So thank you for that. And it's Teacherman 1955. The message is, I have a suggestion for a cover. I think you would do a great job on Still Loving You by the Scorpions. Rock! So thank you for that. And yes, the Scorpions, one of those bands that obviously, well, with this hair, you know that I've listened to them quite a lot, but also with the covers, just doing the videos, what I used to do is when I had a lot less subscribers, I had a lot more time, obviously, like I've just been mentioning with all of the emails and the messages. So it meant that I would spend a couple of weeks getting down the covers and that I'd be working on it every day and getting down each part, the bass, the guitars, the drums, the keys, the backing harmonies, the vocals, and then I'd record the video and I had one camera, so I'd be doing all the angles, so that would take probably about a day to film all that, and then I'd edit it all together. So there was a lot that went into the 2 weeks of making a cover video, whereas now I'm making a new video every single night on YouTube. So I haven't got those 2 weeks. I could disappear, I suppose, for 2 weeks, but then I'm sure people would be asking where the videos are because it would be silence for a couple of weeks. But maybe in the future I can get back to that. It might be a case of getting people to help me because I think people also don't realize that it's just me doing everything. So everything you see is me and I'm answering all the emails, doing all the comments. So yes, with 128,000 subscribers, there are a lot of messages, but I'm just about keeping on top of it. But in the future, to free up some time, maybe I can raise enough support to be able to get somebody who can deal with maybe the social media side of things, but then it's a double-edged sword because I love to interact with you guys. So I don't know what will happen in the future, but we will see. So thank you for that donation. And Peter's in the house and has donated €5. Thank you for that, Peter. The message is, hi Phil. Any suggestions for a MIDI controller for beginner trying to start producing his music, and why hair grows crazy too? And that must be. So stay safe and rock with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Peter. I think for a MIDI controller, what I've got with my interface is the UX2, Line 6 UX2, and I just plug a MIDI controller into that, or a MIDI keyboard. So it means that I'm setting off all the triggers with a keyboard. In terms of a controller, I've never used one. I've always used keys, and I use a KeyStation 49 MK3, which is obviously out of shot here, but that works for me. I just plug it in USB and I use Logic Pro 10, if you know what that is. That's my DAW, my digital audio workstation. I don't want to get too complicated with things for people, but that's what I use in order to get all of my MIDI into the computer through my interface, and it works really well. Latency's good as well, nice and low. Which latency, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is the delay of pressing a key and then it being triggered on the software. So it means that there's no delay, because that's what you want when you are playing along to live music and you are trying to record. But anyway, we won't turn this into a gear video, but that's what I use. Hopefully, Peter, that helps you. The UX2 is one of those interfaces that you can pick up, relatively cheap, and it does everything that I need it to do, including the analysis videos where I go into the instrument in and also have 2 mic inputs. And when I do demonstrate on the guitar, one of those is the second mic input, so it means that I can do 2 mics at the same time, which does help me out on the pre-recorded videos, but live, obviously, I use up all of the inputs and I can't really go to guitar because I'd have to then unplug one thing and then you might stop hearing me. Anyway, as I said, I won't turn this into a complicated gear video, but thank you, Peter, for that donation. We are going to be getting into this cover, and it's going to be Layer on the Line because that is the song that I've seen being suggested in the live chat room the most. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one, and as voted for by you guys, because they were tied over on Patreon. So also thank you for suggesting it over there. We're going to get this up on screen. As always, I'm going to be in the live chat room. Just quickly, Marge has just donated $2. Thank you for that, Marge. And it's a straight up donation. So we will head into this video fresh off the back of Marge's donation, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! And that was a unique intro that I made for Layer on the Line, just to keep it interesting. So I clicked on the wrong box. As you could tell, I had 2 queued up. So I did have a 50-50 chance of getting it right, and I got it wrong. So this is, now I'm going to introduce this, The Power. It's not The Power of Love. The official title is Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News, but it's not really. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to be Layer on the Line, and I'll see you guys in the chat room just to laugh this off, and we'll see what happens. See you guys after this. Rock! And there we have it. That was my cover of Lay It on the Line. Second time lucky with the click of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for the kind words in the live chat room while that was going on, because it is one of those covers that is very difficult to do because of the range that Rick Emmett has, because it's just crazy, and just trying to get anywhere close to that is impossible. I think everyone just has to try and sing in their own range, and if you have got the range in order to get there, then you'll start to realise how much of a range it is. Also, there was a comment about head voice that popped up, so it's great to see the little points that I do make in the analysis videos coming out, because there is a lot of head voice going on with that particular cover, because there's lots of notes that are really high up, and it does show the difference between head voice and falsetto, because I say about falsetto being a range that you can't link to anything else. So that song's a great example of it, because you need to keep your notes going the whole time. You can't suddenly have silence while you then flip up into falsetto. So it's something that Rick just seamlessly does. Such an amazing voice and guitar player as well. So that was a really tricky cover to try and get anywhere close, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we have had a little bit of action in the super chat window, and this is from Jeannie, so thank you for that, Jeannie. It is $5. The message is: Gremlins visiting me today. I was chatting away and missed the first 15 minutes. Oh well, rock. So as long as you've made it now, that's all good. We've still got a fair amount of the live stream to go, maybe about 25 minutes, so we're safe. We've still got some time. And we've had another donation underneath that, and Kay has donated $5. Thank you for that, Kay. And the message is: keep it up with the guy doing his workout. And the lower part of that has been cut off, but I can see the keep part of it. So thank you so much for that, Kay, and for all of these donations tonight. Now, hopefully, because I started to play a little bit of Power of Love, I think we're still okay, because sometimes when I play more than one cover, the copyrights get a little bit more complicated, but it seems like it's going to be okay because it was such a small amount, and maybe it's something that won't get recognised. But we will see. If I suddenly disappear, then maybe that's what's happened. But thank you guys for answering the call to play Lay It on the Line, and unfortunately I just didn't click the right button, so we're just going to have to live with that. But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Let's have a look into the live chat room. We have Dwayne and Denise and Patrick and Rockin' the Rockies and Debbie and Scott Trick and Reb and Thomas and Shirley and Denise again, KADJ as well, Carla, and a massive shout out to the moderators tonight, because Carla's there, Laurie's in there as well, and I'll have to have a little look to see if any other moderators are in the house tonight. But thank you guys for the great job that you do throughout these live streams on a Tuesday and now on a Saturday as well. It is massively appreciated. Linda has just popped into the super chat window and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Linda. The message is: just got online. People already said this, but this is a thank you for giving us Frank Marino and The Warning in the same week. So no problem, Linda. Thank you for that donation. And when I did talk with Frank Marino, obviously we spoke for ages, and I have been saying that I'll cut them up into different videos. So that was one of those just that I edited. Obviously, going through about 4 hours, it might have been more than 4 hours, of talking and finding bits and trying to keep some kind of relevance throughout the video, because we did chat about all sorts. It's a little bit difficult, and it's quite a long process to edit together 4 hours of footage into a nice 15 or 20 minute video. So it does take a little bit of time, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And then, yes, the next evening, was it? It might have been the next evening, straight away, we then had The Warning, which is great to get them on screen and also have their thoughts about their setup live, because I think something that I've been reading today from the comments is that some people didn't really get to appreciate how much there is going on and the things that the girls are juggling at the same time when they're playing live. So it's great to put a bit of a spotlight on that as well, because it's something that a lot of artists have to rehearse a lot of the technical side of the live show. It's not just set up and play your instruments and sing, and that's great, and you can now go on tour and it's fine. A lot of the lighting, everything can be controlled by these triggers that you have on stage, MIDI triggers, which we refer to in the video, where you hit a particular trigger and it might set off a particular light. And you also have that with, if you have the light shows, but also fireworks that you might have going off at the front of the stage. Obviously, it's the pyrotechnics, that kind of thing that you can trigger as well. So it really goes deep to the amount that bands sometimes have to rehearse that isn't about the music, it's about the whole show. And smoke machines as well, you can set those off. And I used to have that on stage with a foot pedal. So it might look like I'm playing guitar, but I'm just setting off a bit more smoke on stage. But anyway, like I said, it's interesting to talk about all that kind of stuff. But we have had another donation. Thank you for that, Linda. The message is, and it's actually from Batfink. So hello, Batfink Reynolds, for $5 the donation is. I'm talking a bit like Yoda. For $5 the donation is. And the message is, Phil, speaking of click, did you use a click track when doing the drum track, as it was very accurate, pretty cool for a guitarist with a smiling face? So this is the thing that will fly under the radar. I'm assuming that you're talking about the cover, Lay It on the Line. The thing about that song is you can't really click track it, because if you listen to the original and you do put a click track next to it, it goes slowly and then it speeds up and then it slows down a little bit and then it goes a bit faster and then it slows down again and it goes back to how it was before. So it ebbs and flows, so you can't really click track that. So you'll find it if you do try and set up your metronome to my cover that it's not in time. Obviously, it's going to sound in time because I am just playing everything in time with the drums, but if you put a metronome to it, it won't work out. So that is the answer to that. Unfortunately, yeah, you can't do... I'm sure you could put a metronome to a cover of that song, but it wouldn't really feel right. It wouldn't have the same flow as the original. So I wanted to try and keep it relatively close in feel to that original, even though it's my own version of it, but I decided to do that. But anyway, thank you so much for that, Batfink Reynolds. And also we've had another donation underneath that from Jen, so thank you for that, Jen. Unfortunately, I can't see the message with it at the moment. It is a $5 donation. I might try and grab it on this screen in front of me to see if I can get it. Maybe I've just ruined everything. Aha, it's just popped up. So Jane has said, did you keep your golf clubs and at least go to the driving range here and there with an inquisitive face emoticon? So thank you for that, Jen. And yes, I did keep my golf clubs. I do have my golf clubs. It's something that I've always, in the summer, have this idea of getting out there and playing a round of golf, but it never quite materializes, because a round of golf, especially when you do get stuck behind people and it's quite busy, it can take 3 or 4 hours to have a round, and it is great for relaxing and just going for obviously a massive walk and just being out there listening to the birds tweeting and doing all that kind of stuff. So it is very relaxing until you actually start playing golf, then it starts getting very frustrating. But when I do feel like playing, unfortunately it's never quite materialized, because I then ask my dad if he wants to play as well, and then it will be raining the next day, and yeah, unfortunately I haven't played in 2 or 3 years, but I still have the clubs, so maybe at some point in the future it can happen. But anyway, thank you, Jen, so much for that donation. We are going to be getting into the next video of the live stream, and this was requested by Kevin, who was in the super chat window earlier, and this was Don't Cry, and I mentioned it then as well. So this is my own song, and it's not a cover of another song. I did have a comment on this video that that said, I love this cover. And it is actually my own song. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's the lyric video of it, so you can read along while listening. And I'm going to be in the live chat room again. So I'll see you guys after this. Fingers crossed I click on the right button and it all works. I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
But you can't go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying. And I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could Here's what she'd say. She said, don't cry. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Oh no, don't cry for me, don't cry. She said, don't
And there we have it. That was my song called Don't Cry. And as you saw, you can get that on my album Persistence, which I did mention earlier. You can get it at wingsofpegasus.com/store. Also, you can pick yourself up a Spike the Likes mug, and I haven't even mentioned about our target of 200 likes that we try to get to on these live streams. So if you can hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated, and you can spike the likes, and also you can get a t-shirt if you like in the tray underneath this video. I don't have on the official t-shirt tonight because I wore it on Tuesday, but tonight I've inadvertently just looking like a Jurassic Park employee for some reason, somehow. And it wasn't intentional, I just realised that I can see an image of myself on screen that I have to make sure that the stream is still working, and I do look like a Jurassic Park employee. So, great! Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and also I think we did have a little bit of action in the super chat window, and it was from Kevin, so thank you for that, Kevin. It's a $2 donation, and the message is, Phil, do you ever jam with your dad with some rock horns? So yes, occasionally, not that regularly, but sometimes he'll be playing the drums and I'll be playing the guitar. We'll both be playing the guitar, or then I'll be playing the drums and he'll be playing keys or something. It just depends. So yeah, we kind of mess around and make noise together, but not regularly. Like I said, I think we're just a bit too busy to jam a lot, because as everyone will know, as soon as you start jamming, that'll be probably half an hour gone before you know it, and then you realize, oh, we're actually behind, and now I have to really rush everything to get everything finished in the day. But yes, it is good sometimes just to jam. And also what I like to do, which is probably the ultimate test of every musician ever, is to jam and never mention keys. Just go wherever you want to, and somebody can change the key and you just play what you're thinking of and what you're singing, rather than learning a scale and having to know what key you're in before you get there. It's a really natural way of playing. At least that's what I really enjoy. So it's something that is really good fun to just play in no keys. Obviously you are playing in keys, but you never tell each other where the other one's going, and then the other one has to follow, because it's really enjoyable to do that. But anyway, that's what I do like to do sometimes, and maybe one of these days I can start rolling it out over the internet of just jamming with other guitarists, and we never know the key that it's going to be in, or the key that we might be in, and just see how it works out, because it's something that means that it's pure extemporization. There is nothing planned about it. And for me, that's where some of the best stuff happens. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Dave. And Dave has just donated $5. I just looked down in exactly the same place and it's all moved. So thank you, Kevin, because Kevin donated before that, but now it's Dave's name that is in that place. And Dave has donated $5. Thank you for that, Dave. The message is, another day hold in amidst the plague. I have my kids with me today. Would you say hi to Quincy and maybe a funny story? So, hello Quincy, and I'm not sure what I can say that's going to be a funny story. It might be related to music, something like that. Well, I'll tell you about something that happened, just a very quick story, that we were playing in London, and I set up all of my gear, had everything sorted out, and everything's good to go for the sound check. And we actually had done the sound check, and then the guy, obviously the technician, the guy behind the mixing desk, the sound man, came up to me and said, okay, you've got to change what you've got on stage, and I've set up everything. And I said, oh, why is that? It's going to be a bit of a pain to move everything around. And he said, it's because it looks bad. He didn't say bad. He used another word that is slightly more, not descriptive, but it's slightly more offensive than just saying bad. But that's what he said to me about the way that my stuff was set up on stage. But that is how I had it set up. So this sound guy, even though he was just a sound guy, he said that I had to now move everything from its position and where I have it when I play live, because it didn't look how he liked it. So it's something that I did actually have to do, because he kept on at me to move my stuff into a different position so that he liked the look of it from the front of the stage. Anyway, craziness. And there are lots of other stories like that, but I don't want to bore you guys with it. Just quickly, another one that's popped into my head is we had a national showcase type gig, which we invited lots of labels to, and we gave the sound guy our MP3 of an intro that then leads into the first song. And it was quite an epic intro. You know, it wasn't us playing on stage because the lights were down, and it was a dramatic intro so that as soon as the song started, the lights would come up and we'd be playing live. And it was all about getting this intro to the sound guy so that he could play it when everyone was in darkness. And it's quite a big venue in London. So anyway, he played this song and it came up with the lights and we started performing and it was all great, but he'd set it to loop. So it meant that on iTunes, wherever he'd imported it into, it now started again while we were playing our first song. So it sounded like an absolute mess on this showcase that we'd invited record labels to come and watch. So that is just another example of a sound man who's really let us down. But you really do put your lives in the hands of the hands, if he's changing all of the levels all the time, of the sound men. And yeah, they do so much to a live gig. They can potentially ruin it or make it great. So it's always the case that if you can make friends with the sound guy, then that is the best thing to do because they are in control of everything. And when you get a great sound guy, it makes such a difference. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Dave. And you have moved somewhere on the screen. Thank you for that. And Debbie has donated $4.99. Thank you for that donation, Debbie. The message is, what was the song Don't Cry For Me inspired by? Sounds like it might be a sad thing. And it is something, but it's written more from a unilateral point of view for something that affects everybody, whether it be from losing somebody that you weren't expecting to lose so quickly and all of those kind of things. I think everybody can relate to that. And it is with that in mind, but also just thinking about the person that might have moved on, saying, don't cry for me, because it's something that I think people would want to say, especially when they leave earlier than expected. The amount of grief that people go through afterwards, I'm sure that they would say to them, just try not to cry too much and live your life as much as you can, because you only get one of them. This is the thing that I think a lot of people forget or don't really take it in, or take life for granted, that we're only here once, and we really do need to cherish every moment, especially with the current times at the moment, everything that's going on. But anyway, thank you so much for that, Debbie. And Lynn has donated $20. Thank you for that, Lynn. The message is, look for Glam Gal's donation. It's gone missing, and thanks for the social distance social gathering. So thank you for that, Lynn. And let me scroll up to see if I can find Karen's donation somewhere, or maybe it has just totally gone missing. Aha, here it is. So thank you for this donation, Karen Glamgal710, and it's a donation of $5. The message is, hi Phil, love your hair, don't cut it, hope you're enjoying your orange squash, got my tea here, thanks for being you, cheers Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And also thanks for the heads up about that comment that I missed, because I would have missed that. So thank you for that, Lynn, and also the donation. Interestingly, I was over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page and I saw that Jeannie had uploaded a picture of some water enhancer, which might be the same thing. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing as orange squash, but it was an orange flavor water enhancer. So maybe that is what it's called over in the USA, but it was just an interesting little post that I saw over there. And if you guys want to go over there, you can join that group, Wings of Pegasus supporters group. Search for that over on Facebook, and Vince hosts the after party over there after the live streams. So thank you everybody for also joining that Facebook group and joining me on these live streams. So we have had another set of donations. Thank you guys so much. Jeannie has donated $2, and the message is, thank you for that, Jeannie. The message is, any Spinal Tap stories, rock with a heart. And yes, lots of Spinal Tap stories, but I just quickly went through two. I won't go through too many because we're almost an hour into the live stream already, and we still have another video to go, so I do want to get into that. But maybe at some point I can play one of those other cartoons that I played on my birthday, just as a special thing. But there are 5 of those that are just recounting these ridiculous scenarios that I've had with live performances. But thank you, Jeannie, for that donation. And Fred has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Fred. The message is, thanks for the warning interview. Here's a little something for all my nagging. Looks like UK fans can get tickets at the Bush Hall website. So thank you for that, Fred. And yes, we did get there in the end, because we were going to organise that analysis interview thing for last month, maybe, or was it the month before? So yeah, we've been trying to get that in the works for a while, but we got there. And you guys, if you do want to get tickets and you're watching this in the UK, you can get that at the Bush Hall website. So type that into Google, you'll be able to find your way there, because that is the venue where it's going to be hosted. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll go ahead. And if I'm there as well, I'll take some pictures and upload them. I could even maybe do it on a live stream and just take some pictures of everybody there. We can all get together and it'll be interesting just to obviously rub shoulders with the girls, because we've just spoke over the internet, so it'd be cool to hook up with them for the live show. But also just anybody in the UK that does watch this channel, then maybe you can head down there as well, because I'll be there as well. Anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Fred. And Linda has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Linda, again. The message is, when practicing vocals, do you ever work on your falsetto? And recently, it's the only thing I've been working on, because I've never been able to do it. And this is something that I think I can get the distinction between head voice and falsetto. I know myself the difference, because I've never been able to do falsetto, but I know that I've got a head voice because I can hit some pretty high notes. And I know that I can connect that to my chest voice. And as long as you can sing a long extended note to the top of your range, that goes into head voice. You go from chest into a mix of chest voice and head voice, and then pure head voice up at the top. So I've always known that I've had that. I've never been able to do falsetto until maybe 4 months ago, something like that, where obviously I've been trying to work at it and use it, but it's something that now I can feel falsetto, which is something that isn't a connected note. And that's why I don't think I could do it before, because my vocal cords couldn't not connect all the way through my range. They would always do that. Whereas now I can start to get into that falsetto as well. Not to the point where I'd use it in a song, but I can at least now physically feel what it's like. So it means that when I'm analyzing other singers, I get a pretty good example, or with their performing, I get a good example of their head voice and their falsetto, because I can tell the difference, I think personally, more so than other people who might mix up head voice and falsetto, purely because I couldn't do falsetto. So it meant that I knew what a head voice was, and I knew definitely what falsetto was, because I couldn't do it yet. And then when I did it, I then thought, yes, it's exactly what I thought it would be. And it is that disconnection of the chest voice into head voice. You can't get into falsetto from that one point of chest voice and head voice. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, and it looks like we've had a little bit more action as well. So thank you, Linda. And Vince has donated $5, and the message is, hi Phil, evidently a donation from Karen Glamgirl got missed. It started off saying, love your hair, thanks for the interview with the warning. So thank you, Vince. And yes, Linda donated before that. And let me just make sure that I didn't miss anybody. We did have Fred and Jeannie and Lynn did also mention, and we had Debbie before that as well, and then Dave. So I think I've got everybody, and massive apologies if I do miss out on your donation. I do try and make sure that I do get all of them, but sometimes when there are a few in a row, they all hop up the screen and I might miss one. But thank you so much for letting me know, Lynn, initially, that I missed one from Karen. So it was Vince who donated. Thank you for that, Vince. And then Orlando is in the house. And the message is, and a $5 donation, thank you for that. The message is, I am the fan, formerly known as Natural Pro 2003. You can just call me me by my first name. How are you, Phil? So thank you for that, Orlando. And I'm great. Thank you very much. All things considered, just staying isolated and hoping to stay out of trouble, which I hope you guys can do too as well. So thank you, Orlando, for that. Holly has donated $2 and another $2 straight afterwards without a message. So thank you for those 2 donations, Holly. And Mario is in the house, who I did notice earlier. And if you saw me type it in the chat room, I did say hello, Mario. But Mario has donated a crazy $200. So thank you so much for that, Mario. And you can see Mario's guitar behind me, next to my Fender. So that's the Fender that Fender sent me, next to the crazy gem that it is a gem of a guitar, quite literally, but the gem that Mario sent to me. So thank you so much for that, Mario, and this donation. The message is, thank you for another sensational live stream, Phil. Awesome. So thank you for that, Mario. Everybody say hello, Mario, for this live stream, because we always say hello to Mario when he's in the house. And we have had another donation underneath that, and it's for $4.99. It's Calfolk7, and the message is love to all. So thank you for that. And Ray has donated again underneath this, and it is $50. Thank you so much for that, Ray. The message is, I watched your channel for the first time because I wanted to better understand lead guitarists. When I was a brand new vocalist, the constantly changing keys thing used to drive me crazy. I'm usually fine with it now, with a smiley face and a sunglasses emoticon person. So thank you for that, Ray. And this is the thing, that sometimes when you are singing and there is a key change, especially if the key change happens at exactly the same time as the vocal. So the vocal has to be bang on beat 1 of the next bar, and that's where the key change happens. It can be really difficult to nail a note that is out of the key that you've just been singing in. So it is tricky and takes a lot of rehearsal, but it's great to hear that things have fallen in line for you vocally, Ray, with the key changes. We are going to be jumping into the last video of the night because it's already 1:05 in the morning here in the UK. If you do get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. I think we might already be past 200 likes, which is what we aim for on these live streams. So thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up and getting us over 200 likes already. Of course, you can still hit the thumbs up. It really does help this live stream to get out there, but as well as the channel growing, it is a major part of that. And if you are watching this in the future, obviously, unfortunately, you can't comment and see yourself in the live chat room on the screen. But if you are watching it, you can still hit that thumbs up button in the future. It still does help. So if you can do it at any time, it would be massively appreciated. So we're going to jump into the final video of the night. And this was requested by Lynn, and it's Unwanted Stranger. And this is the video that does end with me pulling the jack out of the guitar, or the guitar lead, if you don't know what a jack is. And it's probably a good way to end the live stream as well, because we're almost at 1:10 here in the morning. So we'll just get into this song, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be in the live chat room as always, and then we'll see where we are after that. But I'll see you guys after this if I click the right button. Rock!
Told me something about you that I didn't want to know. You looked me right in the eye, and then you placed your head on my shoulder. This position that you put me in, you're on a mission to take my world from around me. Wide awake, I worry my brain. Turn over, turn over, turn over. Anticipating, girl, come on, make up your mind. The night of passion became a nightmare. When the flood arrived, I realized what a fool I've been. You don't even know me, so how could you love me? Let
And there we have it. That was my song called Unwanted Stranger, available on the same album called Persistence, if you want to check that out. And just looking into the live chat room, we did have a message in there from Susan and Dennis. So thank you guys for tuning in. I did mention at the beginning of the live stream that I did get your birthday message, so thank you guys for that. But unfortunately, it didn't make it into the live stream because I hadn't checked my emails. I'm about 3 days behind with the emails so far. I was 7 days behind last week, so that's why I couldn't get it into the live stream, but KADJ did send it over to me, so thank you guys for that. It is massively appreciated, and thank you everyone for all of those birthday wishes last week. Somehow it has been a week already. I don't know where that time's gone, but then again, maybe it's time for another pizza, because once a week is probably fine, maybe, if I can make an excuse for that. But anyway, we have had a little bit of action in the Super Chat window, so a massive thank you to Holly, who has donated $10, and the message is, "Hi Phil, the donate button is acting up. Thanks for all that you give. You are appreciated and I always learn something new." So thank you for that, Holly, and apologies that it's not working. That's something with YouTube. I'm not sure how it all works from watching the live stream, because I've always been on the other side looking at the live stream interface and all of that stuff, like the stream health and the stream settings and all of this complicated stuff, when I'm not clicking on the wrong buttons, because that's also something that I like to do. But thank you so much, Holly, for that donation. And Lucy has donated again, $9.99. Thank you for that, Lucy. The message is, important question. You work hard to give us wingers great content. How much sleep a night do you get? Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay sane, with some rock horns. So I'm not sure how much sleep I get. I did go through a phase of probably 6 hours, maybe 6.5 hours. So it's not too bad, because that was, I think, my rhythm of how much sleep I get. So then I wake up and I feel okay. Sometimes when I get less, then I wake up and I feel awful. And sometimes when I get more, I wake up and I feel awful. So there's got to be some kind of cycle to it. I know that we work in sleep cycles, but everyone's different, I think. So that might have been the sweet spot, was about 6.5 hours maybe. So that's what I try and get in for that. But the other thing is, sometimes if I'm doing a video and it is really annoying and my internet doesn't work and all that kind of stuff, then I might get to sleep at a very early time in the morning. And then sometimes here, obviously, we get deliveries, and now they just leave the deliveries outside and knock on the door or just ring the bell. So the deliveries that I get from Amazon, because I'm one of these people that buys things on Amazon all the time, and especially guitar strings and all that kind of stuff, you can just buy them and get them to your door. It's amazing. But when I order things like that, they sometimes deliver at 9 or 10 in the morning, and I might have been asleep for a few hours. So then I wake up and then I have to go and answer the door, and then I'll try and go back to sleep, but then maybe I won't sleep. So yeah, some days are a lot harder than others if I've been woken up early in the morning when I've only just really gone to bed. And sometimes it's already light when I go to bed anyway, but I purposefully, when I am teaching, don't book anybody in early in the mornings, or pretty much any time in the morning. It's always afternoon and evenings, so that if I do have problems with videos, I know that I can sleep at least for the morning time before the afternoon. But anyway, thank you so much, Lucy, for that. And Ian has donated $50. Thank you so much for that, Ian. The message is, for getting to 128,000 subs and you commitment to entertaining us, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Ian, and no problem. This is also the other thing that you might notice on Patreon or on YouTube, that when I've done a video, for example, the Frank Marino video or the video that I did with the warning last night, because it's a lot longer process, I might disappear for maybe 12 hours or something. I try to keep up to date with the comments on YouTube, but when I am editing something that has been a long conversation, and trying to get it down to 40 minutes was the video last night, just under last night's video. I think 38 minutes around there. So yeah, when I am doing a lot of editing, I then disappear because obviously I'm working on that. But I try and keep up to date as much as possible on the YouTube comments. But thank you, Ian, for that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe it's something that myself and Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult have been trying to work out, to do something on the channel together, and that might be happening next month maybe, but it has been a bit of a while in the works because obviously trying to get our diaries organized and time differences and all that kind of stuff, and Buck's a really busy guy as well anyway. So hopefully next month we'll have a similar kind of video that I can upload as well, because it's cool to just change pace for once during the month and have a little chat and an analysis with either an artist or a band. It's a really cool thing, I think, that I can pursue next month. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But thank you, Ian, for that. And Orlando has donated $10. Thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is maybe next time you can interview Audrey and Kate of Nagasaki, Japan. Their YouTube page is Audrey123 Talks. They cover all sorts of songs using the Rocksmith game. They are fun to watch. So thank you for that, Orlando. And it's something that I can make a note of and check it out. I haven't seen it myself, but the Rocksmith game, I think, is that like Guitar Hero? I haven't got into the music computer games where you have a guitar and you push the button. I tried to play it once, but the problem that I had was that what I was wanting to play was what I was hearing, not the buttons that I should have been pressing on the screen. So I just didn't do very well with that at all, because I think I'm approaching it maybe from the wrong way, that maybe you should play the game first and then learn guitar after. Or maybe some guys are just really good at playing it, but I don't play those kind of games, but I'll check that out in the future. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Just a quick look into the live chat room. We have John and Patrick and Mario still in the house, 58 Marine, John, Scott Trick and Darla and Sherry and Cheryl, and Lucy still in there with Batfink and KADJ. So hello and thank you everyone for joining me tonight. We have just had another donation come in from Jen, and it is for $5. Thank you for that again, Jen. The message is, thanks for showing the empty pizza box and ratting yourself out about the extra bread, with a laughing face and a thumbs up. So this is something that I posted over on Patreon, my empty pizza box that... with all of the kind donations, I put it towards a pizza, and not only that, a side order of garlic bread as well. So I ate way too much with that pizza, and you guys over on Patreon, I'm sure, can appreciate that with the picture that I put up there. It was all gone, and yes, I ate too much. It's that point you get to where it's just... you're eating for the taste, and I was eating for the taste for a long time and didn't feel particularly active after that. I just had to stay seated for about half an hour to try and digest it. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Jen, and everybody for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up button. We can have a final spike of the likes if you want. That will always help. Thank you everybody for hitting the thumbs up, because it really does help the channel to grow and for this live stream to get out there and for more people to see it as well. You can hit that thumbs up if you're watching this on catch up later on. If you do want to check your time zones, I go live at 12 midnight at Greenwich Mean Time. That is the time zone. So if it's not that time where you are when you do the calculation, then you won't be able to comment on this live. But thank you everybody for joining me tonight and commenting, and also the super chat donations. Thank you guys so much. And I'm finding that I'm starting to do that with my head to get the hair out of my face. So that is something that you will see more of in the coming live streams over the next few weeks. It'll get more and more extreme when I won't be able to even see you guys anymore. But also a massive final shout out to these guys at the bottom of the screen, my patrons who make this video possible, the live streams, the analysis videos possible as well, the cover videos, everything that I do on YouTube. So thank you guys, you know who you are, and you're also popping up in the super chat room as well. So thank you every one of you. I will be on Patreon tonight, just checking the messages over there, keeping up to date, and also uploading this live stream over on Patreon so you guys can check it out there, and I'll also make it public if that's possible on YouTube as well. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you guys in the comment section of the next analysis video. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you live on Tuesday night if you can make it to that live stream, same time and same place. I'll be here next week as well, Saturday night live stream, same time, same place always, so we can connect on these days of live streaming and also in the comment section of the analysis videos. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys when I next see you, and hopefully next time when I do this live stream, it's going to be the right buttons that I'm clicking. And thank you so much for everyone making my mind up, even though I clicked on the wrong one that you didn't even request anyway. But just quickly, right at the end, Paula has jumped in to the super chat window. Hello, Paula. Thank you for joining me right at the end of the live stream. And Paula has donated $50. So thank you so much for that. And it is a guy riding a rocket by the look of it, or a firework, and just going off into the distance and then exploding. So thank you so much for that, Paula, right at the end of the live stream. So I'm just signing off at the moment. Again, thank you everybody for your donations, and Paula just sneaking in at the end there. I'll see you guys in the comment section of the analysis videos. I'll be doing another video tomorrow night. As always, new video every night, live streams on Tuesday and Saturday. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great afternoon or evening wherever you are, and stay isolated as much as possible. Try and keep yourselves as safe as possible, and we will reconvene on Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Catch you later. Rock!